What's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Frankie. Welcome back to my humble home for another edition of Frankie's Faves. Today we are getting off the old beaten path to slide into my DMs. No, not slide, but look into my DMs to answer your questions that you had for me. Question at thechris815 in Shreveport, Louisiana. I now have gotten back most of what I lost during my active addiction. Career, house, car, family, and sanity. Congratulations. Now I'm ready to start back dating. How does one deal with dating and having to explain your past experiences with someone you're interested in without scaring them off? Good question. You know, for me, first of all, I took it very, very serious when people in the program said to me, don't date for the first year, don't date for the first year. Just because, you can't trust your own thoughts, your brain, suddenly you don't have that something that you always ran to, the alcohol, the drug, it's gone. And so your brain is looking for something to fixate on. And sometimes it focuses on a love partner. So I took it very serious. Very, very serious, not sleeping my way through my first year and not dating through my first year. And I did a little bit of dating, but it was nothing serious, and it was definitely not physical because I was too afraid of losing what I had gained. My advice to you is you and I have the opportunity to present to society and to people what a recovering alcoholic and addict looks like. Look at us. This is it. This is the face of a recovering alcoholic. You are the face of a recovering addict. Not that bad to look at after all. So you and I have a duty to remove the stigma and to let people know that the person standing right next to you could be in recovery, right? Once we remove that, then there is no reason to try to hide it. The reason that we hide our recovery is because we are ashamed of it. We are ashamed of it because for so long, so many people have refused to talk about it openly. And that's part of the reason why I choose to talk about it, my own recovery, so publicly. So my advice to you, the Chris815 in Shreveport, Louisiana, is to live your recovery so loud that it is beautiful. You have before you, or you are living within you, a beautiful, transformative story that has the capacity to save lives, okay? And it is your duty to share that with others so that they too might be saved. And along the way, you may encounter people who lack the ability to understand because their brain is not wired like mine and yours. That is nothing about you. You're a survivor and you are destined to help others. And I hope that you would step up to the plate and say, yes, I cheerfully or even begrudgingly accept this duty, because what you have done is you have gone from a man who was addicted, who lost it all, to a man with a very powerful story. And one day you are going to meet somebody who is going to match that power, who is going to complement it, right? And you will no longer have a need to hide it. So my advice to you is live your recovery so loud, so shamelessly, that you and I make strides for future generations of gay men to not have to feel shame about what we're going through. Because what we have before us is not shame. What we have is that we became men who have a story of survival. Not only did we survive coming out of the closet as homosexuals, but we survived coming out of the closet as people who have a substance abuse disorder. Question from @KeithX22 in Corinth, Texas. He asks, do you want to build a snowman? Now Keethery Nathaniel Adams II. I'm out here trying to inspire the children, trying to change the world, trying to make a difference, and all you can ask is if I want to build a snowman? How dare you? How dare you pull up into my Monday gig and try to hijack it like that? How dare you? But to answer your question, I would love to build a snowman. So here's how it's gonna go down. When we get our first snowfall this year, I'm coming over, setting up the cameras, setting up the lights, setting up the glitter, and we're building a snowman. And you better get ready because you are going to be the narrator on that video. How about that? Question from @FearIsTheMindKiller, KILLR, in London, England. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this with the British accent. Y'all better not talk shit. I'm gonna try to do this with the British accent just to practice. What was the hardest part of your recovery? Okay, fantastic question. The hardest part for me was, I got out of rehab on December 8th, 2017. So I got out right around the holidays. The hardest part for me was to see that everybody was so busy, that the world had moved on, and that nobody cared about what had just happened to me. How is it possible that the world was still turning, that life was going on, when I was stuck in such a traumatic state of mind? That was the hardest part. But that revealed to me that that was my selfishness, that the world can in fact exist without Frank. Okay? Once I got into recovery, the hardest part after that was make a list of the people that have harmed us, and then also what was our part in that harm. That was incredibly painful. And I'm glad I did it in rehab, because what I learned making this list was that in my heart, two people that I thought I loved I had learned to hate instead. But because my mind knew that at one point I had loved them, refused to admit to me, to myself, that it was no longer love, that it had turned into hate, and that hate was killing me. That hate was eating me up internally, and it was causing me to drink the way that I drank. And so step 4 was actually one of those situations that I walked into like a brick wall, because I thought it was gonna be okay. I thought it was no big deal. I started to pull the layers back, and I began to see what I had done and what they had done, and I stood there and I had hate in my heart. I didn't know what to do with that. So immediately I jumped out of the chair and I ran to my counselor's office, and I sat there and crying, and I couldn't stop shaking. And she looks at me and she goes, well, tell me what's going on. I said, I'm doing the 4th step. She said, oh, you should have started there. That was very hard for me. First, feeling like the world was moving on without me. And second, recognizing that I was not as nice as I thought I was, that I was capable of feeling hate, and that killed me. But, like the phoenix, I rose up again like a new man. Or better yet, a man under construction. Let's just put it that, okay?